you so much for coming out to see The Importance of Being Earnest. As you can tell, we are filming today, so don't say or do anything that you don't want on camera. But laugh loudly, clap loudly, but don't do anything crazy, and be respectful of the chords, please. Thank you. But thank you so much for coming out. If you know us, or at least me, you know that being in a production of The Importance of Being Earnest has been a dream of mine since I first saw it when I was 10 years old. So this has been truly a decade in the making, and I finally found a group of people who was crazy enough to want to do it with me, so I am so grateful for that. It has truly been a fun and joyful rehearsal process, and we hope that reflects in the show because it is just an absolutely whimsical and absurd show. So we really hope you enjoy it. Posted on those trees there are the QR codes to the program for today's show, as well as the GoFundMe, because although the tickets were free, making shows like this is unfortunately not. So if you are willing and able to donate, we would greatly appreciate it. I will also pass around the QR codes if you would like them. All right, and without further ado, please enjoy The Importance of Being Earnest.
I didn't think it polite to listen, sir.
I am sorry for that, for your sake. I don't play accurately. Anyone can play accurately. I play with a wonderful expression. As far as the piano is concerned, sentiment is my forte. I save science for life.
Yes, sir.
Oh, speaking of the science of life, have you got the cucumber sandwiches cut for Lady Bracknell?
Yes, sir.
Oh, by the way, Lane, I see by your book that on Thursday night, when Lord Shorman and Mr. Worthing dined with me, 8 bottles of champagne are entered as having been consumed.
Yes, sir. 8 bottles and a pint.
Why is it that in a bachelor's estate, the servants invariably drink the champagne? I ask merely for information.
I attribute it to the superior quality of the wine, sir. I have often noted that in married households, their champagne is rarely of a first-rate brand.
Good heavens, is marriage really so demoralizing as that?
I believe it is a very pleasant state, sir. I myself have had very little experience of it till the present. I've only been married once. That was the consequence of a misunderstanding between myself and a young person.
I don't know that I am much interested in your family life, Lane.
No, sir, it isn't very interesting. I never think of it myself.
Very natural, I'm sure. That will do, Lane. Thank you. Lane's views on marriage seem somewhat lax. Really, if the lower orders don't set us a good example, then what is the use of them at all? They seem as a class to be completely unaware of social responsibility.
Mr. Ernest Worthing.
Ernest, my dear boy, what brings you up to town?
Oh, pleasure. What else should bring anyone anywhere? Eating as usual, I see, Algie.
I believe that it is customary in good society to take some light refreshment at 5 o'clock. Where have you been since last Thursday?
In the country.
And what on earth do you do there?
Oh, when one is in town, one amuses oneself. When one is in the country, one amuses other people. It is excessively boring.
And who are these people you amuse?
Neighbours.
Got nice neighbours in your part of, Shropshire?
Perfectly hoary. Never speak to one of them.
How immensely you must amuse them. By the way, Shropshire is your country, is it not?
Shropshire? Yes, of course. Hello. Why all these cups? Why cucumber sandwiches? Why such extravagance in one so young? Algie, who is coming to tea?
Oh, merely Aunt Augusta and Gwendolen.
How perfectly delightful.
Yes, that is all very well, but I'm afraid that Aunt Augusta won't quite approve of your being here.
May I ask why?
My dear fellow, the way that you flirt with Gwendolen is perfectly disgraceful. It is almost as bad as the way that Gwendolen flirts with you.
I am in love with Gwendolen. In fact, I have come to town expressly to propose to her.
I thought you had come up for pleasure. I call that business.
How utterly unromantic you are.
Oh, I don't see anything romantic in proposing. It is very romantic to be in love, but I don't see anything at all romantic about a definite proposal. One might be accepted, one usually is, I believe. Then all the excitement is gone. The very essence of romance is uncertainty. If ever I marry, I'll certainly try to forget the fact.
I have no doubt about that, dear Elgie. The divorce court was specifically invented for peoples whose memories are so curiously constituted.
Oh, no use speculating on that subject. Divorces are made in heaven. Hey, please do not touch the cucumber sandwiches. They were ordered specially for Aunt Augusta.
Well, you have been eating them all the time.
Oh, that is quite a different matter. She is my aunt. Have some of the bread and butter. The bread and butter is for Gwendolen. Gwendolen is quite devoted to bread and butter.
Oh, and very good bread and butter it is too.
Well, you mustn't eat as though you were going to eat it all. You act as though you are engaged to her already. You are not engaged to her, and I do not think you ever will be.
Why on earth do you say that?
Well, in the first place, girls never marry the men that they flirt with. Girls don't think it right.
That's nonsense.
It is a great truth. It accounts for the extraordinary number of bachelors one sees everywhere. In the second place, I don't give my consent.
Your consent?
Yes, Gwendolen is my first cousin, and before I allow you to marry her, you'll have to clear up the whole issue of Cecily.
What do you mean, Algie? What on earth do you mean by Cecily? I don't know anyone by the name of Cecily.
Elaine! Elaine, bring me the cigarette case that Mr. Worthing left in the smoking room the last time he dined here.
Yes, sir.
Do you mean to say you've had my cigarette case all this time? I wish to goodness you would let me know. I was writing frantic letters to Scotland Yard about it. I was very nearly offering a large reward.
Well, I wish you would offer one. I happen to be more than usually hard up
Oh, there is
lately.
no use offering one now that the thing is found, is there?
Oh, well, my bad. No, my... It makes no matter, for now that I see the thing, I can see that it isn't your cigarette case at all. This is a cigarette case from someone of the name of Cecily, and you just said that you don't know anyone of that name.
Of course it's mine. You've seen me with it 100 times, and you have no right whatsoever to read what's written inside. It's a very ungentlemanly thing to read what's written inside a private cigarette case.
My dear fellow, it is absolutely absurd to have a hard and fast rule on what one should and what one shouldn't read. More than half of modern culture depends on what one shouldn't read.
Well, I'm quite well aware of the fact, and I don't propose to discuss modern culture. It isn't the sort of thing one should talk of in private. I simply want my cigarette case back.
Yes, but this is not your cigarette case. As I said, it is a gift from someone of the name of Cecily.
Well, if you want to know, Cecily happens to be my aunt.
Your aunt?
Yes! Charming old lady she is too. Lives in Tunbridge Wells.
Well, if she is your aunt, then why does she call herself Little Cecily? If she is your aunt and lives at Tunbridge Wells, I mean, from Little Cecily with her fondest love.
My dear fellow, what on earth is there in that? Some aunts are tall, some aunts are not tall. For heaven's sake, give me back my cigarette case.
Yes, but why does your aunt call you her uncle? From Little Cecily with her fondest love to her dear Uncle Jack. Besides, your name isn't Jack at all, it's Earnest.
It isn't Ernest. It's Jack.
You have always told me it was Earnest. I have introduced you to everyone as Earnest. It's on your cards. Mr. Ernest Worthing B4 the Albany W. I shall keep this as a proof that your name is Earnest in case you ever try to deny it to me or to Gwendolen or to anyone else.
Well, it's Ernest in town and Jack in the country, and the cigarette case was given to me in the country.
Yes, but that does not account for the fact that your dear Aunt Cecily calls you her uncle. Come on, old boy, you'd best out with the whole thing at once.
Algie, you talk exactly as if you were a dentist. It is very vulgar to talk as if one is a dentist when one isn't a dentist. It produces a false impression.
Now go on. Why are you Earnest in town and Jack in the country? And I might mention that I have always suspected you of being a confirmed Bunburyist, and I am quite sure of it now.
Bunburyist? What on earth do you mean by Bunburyist?
I'll explain to you the meaning of that incomparable phrase as soon as you are kind enough to tell me why you are Earnest in town and Jack in the country.
Produce my cigarette case first.
Here it is. Now, produce your explanation and pray, make it improbable.
My dear fellow, there's nothing improbable about my explanation at all. In fact, it's perfectly ordinary. The late Mr. Thomas Cardew, who adopted me when I was a little boy, made me in his will guardian to his granddaughter, Miss Cecily Cardew. Cecily, who lives at my place in the country, addresses me as her uncle for means of respect that you could not possibly appreciate, lives in my place in the country under the charge of her admirable governess, Miss Prism.
And where is that place in the country, by the way?
That is nothing to you, dear boy. You are not going to be invited. And I may tell you candidly, that place is not in Shropshire.
I suspected as much. I've Bunburied all over Shropshire on 2 separate occasions. Now, go on. Why are you Earnest in town and Jack in the country?
I'm afraid you won't be able to understand my real motives. You are hardly serious enough. When one is placed in the position of guardian, one has to adopt a high moral tone on all subjects. It is one's duty to do so. And as a high moral tone can hardly be said to conduce very much to either one's health or one's happiness, I have always pretended to have a younger brother by the name of Earnest, who lives in the Albany and gets up to the most dreadful scrapes. That, my dear fellow, is the whole truth, pure and simple.
Oh, the truth is rarely pure and never simple. What you really are is a Bunburyist. You are one of the most advanced Bunburyists I know.
What on earth do you mean?
You have invented a very useful younger brother called Earnest in order that you might be able to escape to the town whenever you choose. I have invented an invaluable invalid friend called Bunbury in order that I might be able to go down to the country anytime that I like. Bunbury is perfectly invaluable. If it wasn't for Bunbury's extraordinarily bad health, for instance, I wouldn't be able to dine with you tonight at Willis's, because I really have been engaged to Aunt Augusta for more than a week.
Well, I haven't asked you to dine with me anywhere tonight.
I know. You are so careless about sending out invitations. It is very foolish of you. Nothing annoys people so much as not receiving invitations.
I really think you should dine with your Aunt Augusta.
Oh, I have no intentions of doing anything of the sort. In the first place, I dined there on Monday, and once a week is enough to dine with one's relations. In the second place, whenever I do dine there, I am treated as a member of the family and either sent down with no woman at all or 2. In the third place, I know exactly who she will place me next to tonight. She will place me next to Lady Farquhar, who always flirts with her own husband across the dinner table. That is not very pleasant. In fact, it is not even decent. The amount of women in London who flirt with their own husbands is perfectly scandalous. Besides, now that I know that you are a confirmed Bunburyist, I naturally want to talk to you about Bunburying. I want to tell you the rules.
No. I'm not a Bunburyist at all. If Gwendolen accepts me, I'm going to kill my brother. Indeed, I think I shall kill him in any case. Cecily is a little too much interested in him. It is rather a bore. So I will get rid of Earnest. And I strongly advise you to do the same with your invalid friend with the absurd name.
Oh, nothing will induce me to part with Bunbury. And if you ever do marry, which seems to me extremely problematic, you will be glad to know Bunbury. A man who marries without knowing Bunbury has a very tedious time.
That is nonsense! If I marry a charming girl like Gwendolen, and indeed she is the only girl I ever saw in my life that I would marry, I certainly wouldn't want to know Bunbury.
Then your wife will.
For heaven's sake, don't try to be cynical. It's perfectly easy to be cynical.
My good fellow, it isn't easy to be anything nowadays. There's such a lot of ghastly competition about. Oh, that must be Aunt Augusta. Now, if I get her out of the way for 10 minutes so that you might have the opportunity for proposing to Gwendolen, may I dine with you tonight at Willis's?
I suppose so if you want to.
Yes, but you must be serious about it. I cannot stand when people are not serious about their meals. It is so shallow of them.
Lady Bracknell and Miss Fairfax.
Algernon, I hope you are behaving well.
I'm feeling very well, Aunt Augusta.
That is not quite the same thing. In fact, those two things rarely go together.
My, you are smart.
I'm always smart. Am I not, Mr. Worthing?
You're quite perfect, Miss Fairfax.
Oh, I hope I'm not that. It would leave absolutely no room for development, and I intend to develop in many directions.
I am so sorry that you are late, Algernon. I had to call up Lady Harbury. Haven't seen her since her old husband's death. Never seen a woman quite so altered. She looks about 20 years younger. Now, I will have a cup of tea and one of those cucumber sandwiches you promised me.
Certainly, Aunt Augusta. Lane, why are there no cucumber sandwiches? I ordered them specially.
There were no cucumbers in the market this morning, sir. I went down twice.
No cucumbers.
No, sir. Not even for ready money.
Oh, that will do, Lane. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I am greatly dismayed, Aunt Augusta, at there being no cucumbers in the market, not even for ready money.
It makes no matter, Algernon. I had some crumpets with Lady Harbury, who seems to me living entirely for pleasure now.
I hear her hair has turned quite gold with grief.
It certainly has changed its color, from what cause I cannot say. But I have quite a treat for you tonight, Algernon. I will send you down with Lady Farquhar. She is quite a pleasant woman.
Well, I'm afraid that I'm going to have to give up the pleasure of dining with you tonight after all, Aunt Augusta.
I certainly hope not. That would put my table completely out.
It is a great bore, and I need hardly say a terrible disappointment to me, but the fact is that I have just received a telegram from my poor friend, Bunbury. He is fallen very ill again. They seem to think I should be with him.
This invalid friend, Mr. Bunbury, has curiously bad health.
Oh yes, Bunbury is a dreadful invalid.
Well, I think it is high time that this Mr. Bunbury were to make a decision whether he's going to live or to die. This shilly-shallying around the question is absurd. I would be much obliged if you were to ask him not to have a relapse by this Saturday. For I rely on you to arrange my music. It is my last procession in 117 to encourage conversation.
I shall speak to Bunbury about the matter, Aunt Augusta, if he is still conscious. But I do think I can promise that he'll be better by Saturday. As for the music, it is always a terrible difficulty, for if one plays good music, then nobody listens, and if one plays bad music, then nobody talks. But if you will kindly step with me into the next room for a moment, I'll show you the program I've laid out.
That is very kind of you, Algernon.
You will accompany me, Gwendolen?
Certainly, Mamma.
Charming day it's been, Miss Fairfax.
Pray don't talk to me about the weather, Mr. Worthing. Whenever anybody talks to me about the weather, I always feel quite certain that they mean something else. And that makes me so nervous.
I do mean something else.
I thought so. In fact, I'm never wrong.
And I would like to be allowed to take advantage of Lady Bracknell's temporary absence.
I would certainly advise you to do so. Mamma has a way of coming back suddenly into a room that I've often had to speak with her about.
Miss Fairfax, ever since I met you, I have admired you more than any girl I have ever met since I met you.
Yes, I'm quite well aware of the fact. And I've often wished that, in public at any rate, you had been a bit more demonstrative. For me, you've always had an irresistible fascination. Even before I met you, I was far from indifferent to you. We live, as I hope you know, Mr. Worthing, in an age of ideals. And it has always been my ideal to love someone by the name of Earnest. When Algernon told me he had a friend called Earnest, I knew I was destined to love you.
You really love me, Gwendolen?
Passionately.
Oh, darling, you don't know how happy you've made me.
My own Earnest.
But, wait. You don't really mean to say you couldn't love me if my name wasn't Earnest?
But your name is Earnest.
Yes, I know it is. But supposing it was something else. Do you mean to say you couldn't love me then?
That is clearly a metaphysical speculation, and like most metaphysical speculations, has very little reference to the actual facts of real life as we know them.
Personally, darling, I don't much care for the name of Earnest. I don't think the name suits me at all.
It suits you perfectly. It is a divine name. It has music of its own. It produces vibrations.
Well, really, Gwendolen, I must say I think there are lots of other much nicer names. I think Jack, for instance. A charming name.
Jack. No, there is very little music in the name Jack, if any at all indeed. I've known several Jacks and they've all been more than usually plain. Besides, Jack is a notorious domesticity for John. And I pity any woman who is married to a man called John. She would probably never be allowed to know the entrancing pleasure of a single moment's solitude. No, the only really safe name is Earnest.
Gwendolen, I must get christened at once. I'm sorry, we must get married at once.
Married, Mr. Worthing?
Why, surely. You know that I love you, and you have led me to believe that you're not so absolutely indifferent to me.
I adore you, but you have not proposed to me yet. Nothing at all has been said about marriage. The subject has not even been touched upon.
Well, may I propose to you now?
I think it would be an admirable idea. And to spare you any possible disappointment, I feel it's only fair to tell you that I'm fully determined to accept you.
Gwendolen,
Yes, Mr. Worthing, what have you got to say to me?
you know what I've got to say to you.
Yes, but you don't say it.
Oh, right. Gwendolen, will you marry me?
Of course I will, darling. How long you've been about it. I must say you have very little experience in how to propose.
What? My own one? I have never loved anyone in the world but you.
Yes, but men so often propose for practice. I know my brother Gerald does, or my girlfriends tell me so. What wonderfully blue eyes you have, Ernest.
Oh,
They are quite blue. I hope you will always look at me just like that, especially when there are other people present.
Mr. Worthing, rise, sir, from a semi-recumbent position. It is most indecorous.
Mamma, I must beg you to retire. This is no place for you. Besides, Mr. Worthing is not quite finished yet.
Finish what, may I ask?
I'm engaged to Mr. Worthing, Mamma.
Pardon me, you are nothing of the kind. If you were to engage, I, or your father, should his health permit, would inform you of the fact. Now I have some questions for you, Mr. Worthing. And while I'm making these inquiries, you, Gwendolen, shall wait for me in the carriage.
Mamma.
In the carriage, Gwendolen.
Yes, Mamma.
Gwendolen,
The carriage! You may take a seat, Mr. Worthing.
thank you, Lady Bracknell. I prefer standing.
I feel obliged to tell you that you are not on my list of eligible young men, although I share that list of dear Duchess of Bolton has. But I am ready to write down your name if your answers be what a really passionate and affectionate mother requires. Do you smoke?
Well, yes, I must admit I smoke.
I am pleased to hear it. A man must have an occupation of some sort. There are too many idle men in London as it is. What is your age, Mr. Worthing?
29.
A perfect age to be married at. I've always been of the opinion that a man who wants to be married either knows everything or nothing. Which do you know, Mr. Worthing?
I know nothing, Lady Bracknell.
I am pleased to hear it. I do not agree with anything that tampers with natural ignorance. The whole theory of education is radically unsound. Fortunately, in England, education provides no effect whatsoever. What is your income, Mr. Worthing?
Between 7,000 and 8,000 a year.
In the funds, or in investments, or in land?
In investments, chiefly.
That is satisfactory.
I own a country house with some land attached to it, of course. About 1,500 acres, I believe, but I don't depend on that for my real income.
A country house? How many bedrooms? No, that can be arranged at a later point afterward. You have a townhouse, I hope? A girl with a simple, unspoiled nature like Gwendolen could hardly be expected to live in the country.
Yes, I own a house in Belgrave Square, but it is let by the year to Lady Bloxham. Of course, I can get it back any time I'd like. It's 6 months' notice.
What number in Belgrave Square?
149.
Ugh, the unfashionable side. That can be altered at a later point, I presume.
Do you mean the fashion or the size?
Both, if necessary. What are your politics, Mr. Worthing?
Well, I'm afraid I really have none. I am a liberal unionist.
Oh, they count as Tories. They dine with us, or come in the evening at any rate. Now, to the more minor matters. Are your parents living?
I have lost both my parents.
Mr. Worthing, to lose one parent may seem as a misfortune, but to lose both almost seems as carelessness. Who is your father?
Well, I'm afraid I really don't know. When I said I had lost my parents, it would have been nearer to the truth to say my parents seem to have lost me. I don't really know who I am by birth. I was Well, I was found.
Found? Oh!
Yes, Lady Bracknell, the late... Lady Bracknell?
Oh, pardon me.
The late Mr. Thomas Cardew found me and gave me the name of Worthing because he happened to have a ticket for Worthing in his pocket at the time. Worthing is a place in Sussex. It is a seaside resort.
And where did this charitable gentleman with a first-class ticket find you?
In a handbag.
A handbag! Oh!
Yes, Lady Bracknell, I was in a handbag. A somewhat large black leather handbag with handles to it. An ordinary handbag, in fact.
And where did this Mr. Thomas or James Cardew find you in this ordinary handbag with handles or not?
In the cloakroom at Victoria Station.
Cloakroom at Victoria Station.
Yes, it was given to him in mistake for his own. The Brighton line.
The line is immaterial, Mr. Worthing. I feel bound to tell you that I am feeling somewhat bewildered by what you've just told me. To be born, at any rate bred, in a handbag seems to me a display of contempt for the ordinary decencies of the excesses of the French Revolution. As for the locality in which the handbag was found, a cloakroom at a railway station might have been used to conceal social indiscretion. It has been used for that purpose before now, and could hardly be an assured basis for good position in good society.
May I ask then what you advise me to do? I need say anything. I would do anything in the world to ensure Gwendolen's happiness.
I would strongly advise you, Mr. Worthing, to produce any relation of either sex before the season is quite over.
I don't see how I could possibly manage to do that. I can produce the handbag at any moment. It is in my dressing room at home. I really think that ought to satisfy you, Lady Bracknell.
Me, sir? What does that have to do with me? You think that Lord Bracknell and myself would allow our only daughter to go and form alliance with a parcel and marry into a cloakroom? Good morning, Mr. Worthing.
Good morning. For heaven's sake! Goodness, Elgie, don't play that ghastly tune! How idiotic you are!
Didn't it go off all right, old boy? Don't tell me that Gwendolen refused you. She is always refusing people. It's a terrible nature she has. I think it is most ill-natured of her.
No. Gwendolen is right as a trivet. As far as she is concerned, we're engaged. Her mother, however, is perfectly unbearable. I never met such a gorgon. I don't really know what a gorgon is like, but I'm quite sure that she is one. At any rate, she is a monster without being a myth, which I find rather unfair. I beg your pardon, Algie. I suppose I shouldn't talk about your own aunt that way before you.
Oh, I love hearing my relations abused. It's the only thing that makes me put up with them at all.
Oh, that is nonsense.
Relations are nothing more than a tedious pack of people who haven't the slightest idea how to live nor the smallest knowledge on when to die. If you're concerned about Gwendolen becoming like her mother, all women become like their mothers. That is their great tragedy. No man does. That is his.
Is that clever?
It is perfectly phrased.
I am sick to death of cleverness. Everyone is clever nowadays. You can't go anywhere without meeting clever people. The whole thing has become an absolute public nuisance. I wish to goodness we had a few fools left.
We have.
Well, I should extremely like to meet them. What do they talk about?
The fools? Oh, the clever people, of course.
What fools?
Oh, by the way, did you tell Gwendolen the truth about your being Earnest in town and Jack in the country?
Oh, my goodness. The truth isn't the sort of thing one tells to a nice, sweet, refined girl. What extraordinary ideas you have about the way to behave to a woman.
My good fellow, the only way to behave to a woman is to make love to her if she is pretty and to someone else if she is plain.
That is nonsense.
What of your brother, Earnest?
By the end of the week, I shall have got rid of him. I'll say he died in Paris of apoplexy. Lots of people are dying of apoplexy quite suddenly, aren't they?
Yes, but it's hereditary, my dear fellow. It's the kind of thing that runs in families. You would much better say a severe chill.
Are you sure a severe chill isn't hereditary or anything of the kind?
Of course it isn't.
Very well then. My brother Ernest is carried off in Paris by a severe chill. That gets rid of him.
But didn't you say that, Miss Cardew is a little too invested in your brother. Won't she feel his loss a great deal?
Oh, no. Cecily is not one of those silly romantic girls, I'm glad to say. She has a capital appetite, goes on long walks, and pays absolutely no attention whatsoever to her lessons.
I should like to see this, Cecily.
I shall take very good care you never do. She is excessively pretty, and she is only just 18.
Have you told Gwendolen yet that you have an excessively pretty ward who is only just 18?
Oh, one doesn't blurt out these things to people. Gwendolen and Cecily are sure to be extremely great friends. I'll bet you anything you like, half an hour after they have met, they will be calling each other sister.
Oh, women only call each other that after they have called each other a lot of other things first. Now, if we want to get a good table at Willis's, we really must go up and dress. Do you know that it is almost 7?
Oh, it is always nearly 7.
Well, I am hungry.
I never knew you when you weren't.
What shall we do after dinner? Shall we go to a theatre?
No, I loathe listening.
Well, we shall go to the club.
Oh, no, I hate talking.
I suppose we might trot round to the Empire at 10.
Oh, no. I simply can't bear to look at things. It is so silly.
Well, then what shall we do?
Nothing.
It is very difficult work to do nothing. Though I don't mind hard work when there is absolutely no definite object of any kind.
Miss Fairfax.
Gwendolen, upon my word!
Alger, you always adopt a strictly immoral attitude towards life, and you are not quite old enough to do that. Now turn your back.
Gwendolen, I really do not think that I can allow this at all.
Turn your back.
My own one.
Ernest, thank you. We may never be married, and from the look on Mamma's face, I fear we never shall. For me, you have always had an irresistible fascination, and the romantic stories of your origin, as relayed to me by my mamma, with unpleasing comments, have naturally stirred the deeper fibres of my nature. And though she may prevent us from being man and wife, and I may marry someone else, and marry often, nothing she can do can unsway my undying devotion towards you.
Oh, dear Gwendolen.
Your address at the Albany I have. What is your town in the country?
The Manor House, Woolton, Hertfordshire.
There is a good postal service, I suppose. It may be necessary to do something drastic. I will
My
communicate
own
with
one.
you daily.
My own one.
How long do you stay in town?
Till Monday.
Good. Alger, you may turn round now.
Thanks, I've turned round already.
And you may ring the bell.
Algie? Algie? Miss Fairfax, you will let me see you to your carriage?
Certainly.
I will see Miss Fairfax out.
A glass of sherry, Lane.
Yes, sir.
Tomorrow, Lane, I shall go Bunburying.
Oh, yes, sir.
You may put up my dressing gown and my smoking jacket and all the Bunbury suits. I shouldn't be back until Monday evening.
Yes, sir.
I hope that tomorrow will be a fine day, Lane.
Oh, it never is, sir.
Lane, you are a perfect pessimist.
I do my best to give satisfaction, sir.
There is a sensible, intellectual girl. The only girl I have ever cared for in my life. What on earth are you so amused at?
Oh, I'm just a little anxious about my friend Bunbury is all.
If you're not careful, your friend Bunbury will get you into a serious scrape someday.
Oh, I love scrapes. They're the only thing that's never serious.
That is nonsense. Algie, you never talk anything but nonsense.
Nobody ever does. Lane. Oh, my bell broke. Oh no. Thank you.
Cecily, surely such a utilitarian occupation as the watching of the flowers is rather Milton's duty than yours, especially at a moment when intellectual pleasures await you. Your German grammar is on the table. Pray open it to page 15. We will repeat yesterday's lesson.
But I don't like German. It isn't at all a becoming language. I know perfectly well that I look quite plain after my German lesson.
Child, you know how anxious your guardian is that you should improve yourself in every way. He laid particular stress on your German as he was leaving for town yesterday. Indeed, he always lays stress on your German when he is leaving for town.
Uncle Jack is so very serious. Sometimes I think he is so serious that he cannot be quite well.
Your guardian enjoys the best of health, and his gravity of demeanor is especially to be commended in one so comparatively young as he is. I know no one who has a higher sense of duty and responsibility.
I suppose that is why he always looks a little bored while we three are together.
Cecily, I am surprised at you. Mr. Worthing has many troubles in his life. Idle merriment and triviality would be out of place in this conversation. You must remember his constant anxiety about that unfortunate young man, his brother.
I wish Uncle Jack would allow that unfortunate young man, his brother, to come down here sometime. We might have a good influence on him. You certainly would. You know German and geology and things of that kind influence a man very much.
I do not think that even I could produce any effect on a character that, according to his own brother's admission, is irretrievably weak and vacillating. Indeed, I'm not sure that I would desire to reclaim him. I'm not in favor of this modern mania for turning bad people into good people at a moment's notice. As a man sows, so let him reap. Cecily, you must put away your diary. I really don't see why you should keep a diary at all.
I keep a diary in order to entertain all the wonderful secrets of my life. If I didn't keep a diary, I should certainly forget all about them.
Memory, my dear Cecily, is the diary that we all carry about with us.
Yes, but it usually chronicles things that did not happen and couldn't possibly have happened. I believe that memory is responsible for nearly all the 3-volume novels that Moody sends us.
Do not speak slightingly of the 3-volume novels, Cecily. I wrote one myself in earlier days.
Did you really, Miss Prism? How wonderfully clever you are. I hope it did not end happily. I despise novels that end happily. They depress me so much.
The good ended happily, and the bad unhappily. That is what fiction means.
I suppose so. But it seems awfully unfair. And was your novel ever published?
Alas, no. The manuscript, unfortunately, was abandoned. I use the word in the sense of lost or mislaid. To your work, child. These speculations are profitless.
But I see dear Dr. Chasuble coming up the garden.
Dr. Chasuble? This is indeed a pleasure.
And how are we this morning, Miss Prism? You are, I trust, well.
Miss Prism has just been complaining of a slight headache. I think it would do much good to have a short stroll with her in the park, Dr. Chasuble.
Cecily, I've not mentioned anything about having a headache.
Indeed, Miss Prism, I knew that, but I felt instinctively that you had a headache. Indeed, I was thinking about that, not about my German lesson when the rector came in.
I hope, Cecily, you are not inattentive.
Oh, I'm afraid I am.
That is strange. Were I fortunate enough to be Miss Prism's pupil, I would hang upon her lips. I spoke metaphorically. My metaphor was drawn from bees. Mr. Worthing has not returned from town yet, I suppose.
We do not expect him till Monday afternoon.
Ah, yes, he enjoys spending his Sunday in London. He's not one of those whose sole aim is enjoyment, as, by all accounts, that unfortunate young man his brother seems to be. But I should not disturb Egeria and her pupil any longer.
Egeria? My name is Letitia, Doctor.
A classical allusion merely, drawn from the pagan authors. I shall see you two, no doubt, at Evensong.
I think, dear Doctor, I will have a stroll with you. I find I have a headache after all, and a walk might do it good.
With pleasure, Miss Prism, with pleasure. We might go as far as the schools and back.
Oh, that would be delightful. Cecily, you will read your political economy in my absence.
Horrid political economy! Horrid German! Horrid geography!
Mr. Ernest Worthing has just driven up from the station. He has brought his luggage.
Mr. Ernest Worthing, B4, the Albany W. Uncle Jack's brother. Did you tell him Mr. Worthing was in town?
Yes, miss. He seemed very much displeased. I also mentioned that you and Miss Prism were in the garden. He seemed anxious to meet with you privately for a moment.
Tell Mr. Earnest Worthing to come out here. I suppose you had better talk to the housekeeper about securing a room for him.
Yes, miss.
I have never met any really wicked person before. I feel rather frightened. I am so afraid he will look just like everybody else. He does!
You must be my little cousin Cecily, I'm sure.
You are under some mistake. I am not little. In fact, I believe I am more than usually tall for my age. But I am your cousin Cecily. You, I see from your card, are Uncle Jack's brother, my cousin Ernest, my wicked cousin Ernest.
Oh, I'm not really wicked at all, Cecily. You mustn't think that I am wicked.
If you are not, then you have certainly been deceiving us all in a very inexcusable manner. I hope you have not been living a double life, pretending to be wicked and being really good all this time. That would be hypocrisy.
Oh, of course I have been rather reckless.
I'm glad to hear it.
In fact, now that you mention it, I have been very bad in my own small way.
I don't think you should be proud of that, although I am sure it must have been very pleasant.
It is much pleasanter being here with you.
I don't understand how you are here at all. Uncle Jack won't be back till Monday afternoon.
Oh, that is a great disappointment to me. I need to take the first train up on Monday morning. I have a business meeting that I am anxious to miss.
Well, I know how important it is not to keep a business engagement if one wants to retain any sense of the beauty of life, but I still think you had better wait until Uncle Jack arrives. I know he wants to speak to you about your emigrating.
My emigrating?
You're emigrating? He has gone up to buy your outfit.
Oh, I certainly would not let Jack buy my outfit. He has absolutely no taste in neckties at all.
I don't think you will require neckties. Uncle Jack is sending you to Australia.
Australia? I'd rather die.
Well, he said at dinner on Wednesday last that you would have to choose between this world, the next world, and Australia.
Well, the accounts that I've heard of the next world and Australia are not particularly encouraging. This world is good enough for me, Cousin Cecily.
Yes, but are you good enough for it?
I'm afraid I am not that. Which is why I must ask you to reform me. You might make it your mission, if you don't mind, Cousin Cecily.
I'm afraid I have no time this afternoon.
Would you mind my reforming myself this afternoon?
It is rather quixotic of you, but I think you should try.
I will. I feel a little better already.
You are looking a little worse.
But that is because I am hungry.
How thoughtless of me. I should have remembered that when one is going to lead an entirely new life, one requires regular and wholesome meals. Won't you come in?
Oh, yes, thank you, but may I have a buttonhole first? I never have my full appetite unless I've had a buttonhole first.
A mushroom?
I'd much rather a pink rose.
Why?
Because you, Cousin Cecily, are like a pink rose.
I don't think you should say things to me like that. Miss Prism never says things to me like that.
Well, then Miss Prism is a short-sighted old lady. You are the prettiest girl I've ever seen.
Miss Prism says all good looks are a snare.
They are a snare that any sensible man would love to be caught in.
Oh, I wouldn't care to get a sensible man. I shouldn't know what to talk to him about.
You are too much alone, Doctor. You should get married. A misanthrope I understand, but a womanthrope, never.
Oh, believe me, I do not deserve so neologistic a phrase. The practice as well as the precept of the primitive church was distinctly against matrimony.
That is obviously the reason why the primitive church has not lasted up to the present day. And you do not seem to realize, dear Doctor, that by persistently remaining single, a man converts himself into a permanent public temptation.
But is a man not equally attractive when married?
No married man is ever attractive, except to his wife.
And often I've been told not even to her.
Well, that depends on the intellectual sympathies of the
Perhaps she followed us to the schools.
Mr.
Worthing?
This is indeed a surprise. We did not look for you till Monday afternoon.
I have returned earlier than I expected. Dr. Chasuble, I hope you are well.
Dear Mr. Worthing, I hope this garb of woe does not betoken some terrible calamity.
My brother,
More shameful debts and extravagance.
Still leading his life of pleasure?
dead.
Your brother Earnest dead?
Quite dead.
Oh, what a lesson for him. I trust he will profit by it.
Dear Mr. Worthing, I offer you my sincere condolence. You have at least the consolation of knowing that you were always the most generous and forgiving of brothers.
Poor Ernest. He had many faults, but it is a sad, sad blow.
Very sad indeed. Were you with him at the end?
No, he died abroad. In Paris, in fact. I received a telegram from the manager of the Grand Hotel last night.
Was the cause of death mentioned?
A severe chill, it seems.
As a man sows, so let him reap.
Oh, charity, dear Miss Prism, charity. None of us are perfect. I myself am peculiarly susceptible to drafts. Will the interment take place here?
No, he seems to have expressed a desire to be buried in Paris.
In Paris? I fear that hardly points to any very serious state of mind at the last. However, you will no doubt wish me to make some slight allusion to this tragic domestic affliction next Sunday. My sermon on the meaning of the manna in the wilderness can be adapted to almost any occasion. Joyful, or in this case, distressing. I mean, I've used that sermon at festivals, at christenings,
You mentioned christenings, I think, Dr. Chasuble. I suppose you know how to christen, all right?
It is.
I mean, you are continually christening, aren't you?
It is, I regret to say, one of the rector's most constant duties in this parish. I've often spoken to the poorer classes on the subject, but they don't seem to know what thrift is.
But is there any particular infant in whom you are interested, Mr. Worthing? Your brother, I believe, was unmarried, was he not?
Oh, yes.
People who live entirely for pleasure usually are.
No, but this ceremony wouldn't be for any child, dear doctor. I am very fond of children. No! No, the ceremony would be for myself. This afternoon, if you have nothing better to do.
But surely you've been christened already.
I don't remember anything about it.
But have you any grave doubts on the subject?
Well, I certainly intend to have. Of course. I don't know if the thing would bother you in any way, or if you think I'm a little too old now.
Not at all. The sprinkling and indeed the immersion of adults into the church is a perfectly canonical practice.
Immersion?
You need have no apprehensions. A sprinkling is all that will be necessary. Our weather is so changeable. At what hour would you prefer the ceremony performed?
Would 5:30 do?
Admirably, admirably. And now, dear Mr. Worthing, I will no longer intrude into a house of sorrow. I would merely beg you not to be too much bowed down by grief. What seem to us tragic afflictions can sometimes be blessings in disguise.
This seems to be a blessing. Of an extremely obvious kind.
Uncle Jack! Oh, I am so pleased to see you back. But what horrid clothes you have got on. Do go and change them.
Cecily!
My child, my child.
What is the matter, Uncle Jack? Do you look happy? You look as if you got toothache, and I've got such a surprise for you. Who do you think is in the dining room? Your brother!
What? No, that's nonsense. I haven't got a brother.
Oh, don't say that, Uncle Jack. However badly he may have behaved to you in the past, he is still your brother. I'll go and fetch him, and you'll shake hands with him, won't you, Uncle Jack?
These are joyful tidings.
After we all had been resigned to his loss, his sudden return seems to me peculiarly distressing.
My brother in the dining room? I don't know what it all means. I find the whole thing perfectly absurd.
Brother John,
Good heavens!
I have come down from town expressly to tell you how sorry I am for all of the trouble that I have caused you, and to tell you that I intend to lead a better life in the future.
Uncle Jack, you are not going to refuse your own brother's hand.
Nothing will induce me to take his hand. I find his coming here disgraceful. He knows perfectly well why.
Uncle Jack, do be nice. There is some good in everyone. Earnest has just been telling me about his good friend Mr. Bunbury, whom he goes to visit so often. And surely there must be good in someone who's kind to an invalid.
He's been talking about Bunbury, has he?
Yes, he's told me all about Mr. Bunbury.
Bunbury! No! I won't have him talk to you about Bunbury or anything else. It's enough to drive one perfectly frantic.
I admit that all of the faults were on my side.
Oh.
But I must say that I find Brother John's coldness to me peculiarly painful. I expected a warmer welcome, especially considering that this is the first time that I have come here.
Uncle Jack, if you do not shake hands with Earnest, I will never forgive you.
Never forgive me?
Never, never, never!
This is the last time I shall ever do it.
Is it not wonderful to see so perfect a reconciliation? I believe we best let the two brothers together.
Cecily, you will come with us.
Certainly. My little task of reconciliation is over.
You've done a beautiful action today, dear child.
We must not be premature in our judgment.
I feel very happy.
You young scoundrel, Algie! You've got to leave this place as soon as possible. You've no right to Bunbury here.
Oh, one has the right to Bunbury anywhere one pleases. Any serious Bunburyist knows that.
I've put Mr. Earnest's things in the room next to yours.
What?
Mr. Earnest's luggage, sir. I've unpacked it and put it in the room next to yours.
His luggage?
Yes, sir. 3 portmanteaus, a dressing case, 2 hat boxes, and a large luncheon basket.
I'm afraid I can't stay more than a week at the time.
Merriman, order the dog cart at once. Mr. Earnest has suddenly been called back to town.
Yes, sir.
What a dreadful liar you are, Jack. I have not been called back to town at all.
Yes, you have.
I have not heard anyone call me.
Your duty as a gentleman calls you back.
Oh, my duty as a gentleman has never interfered with my pleasures in the smallest degree.
Well, I can quite understand that.
Well, Cecily is a darling.
You are not to talk of Miss Cardew like that. I don't like it.
Well, I don't like your clothes. I wish you would go and change them. It is perfectly childish to be deeply in mourning for someone who is actually staying in your house for a whole week as a guest. I call it grotesque.
You will not be staying with me for a whole week as a guest or anything else. You have got to go by the 4:05 train.
Oh, well, I certainly would not leave you so long as you are in mourning. It would be most unkind of me to do so. If I were in mourning, I suppose you would stay with me. I would find it most rude if you did not.
Will you go if I change my clothes?
Perhaps. If you don't take too long. I have never seen someone take so long to dress and with so little result.
It is better than always being overdressed as you are.
Well, if I am occasionally overdressed, I make up for it by always being immensely overeducated.
Your vanity is ridiculous. Your conduct an outrage, and your presence in my garden utterly absurd. However, you have got to go by the 4:05, and I hope you have a pleasant journey back to town. This Bunburying, as you call it, has not been a great success for you.
I think it has been a great success. I am in love with Cecily, and that is everything. But I must see her one more time before I depart and make arrangements for another Bunbury.
Oh, I merely came back to water the roses. I thought you were with Uncle Jack.
He's gone to fetch the dog cart for me.
Oh, is he going to take you for a nice drive?
He's going to send me away.
Then have we got to part?
I'm afraid so. It is a most painful parting.
It is always painful to part from somebody who someone has known for such a short period of time.
Thank you.
The dog cart is at the door, sir.
It can wait, Merriman, for 5 minutes.
Yes, miss.
Cecily, I hope that you do not mind if I speak quite frankly and plainly and say that you are in every way the visible personification of perfection.
I think your frankness does you great credit, Earnest. If you will allow me, I will copy your remarks into my diary.
You keep a diary? I'd give anything to look at it, may I?
Oh, no. When it appears in volume form, I hope you will order a copy. Pray, Ernest, don't stop. I delight in taking from dictation. I have reached absolute perfection. You can go on. I am quite ready for more. Don't cough, Ernest. I don't know how to spell a cough.
Cecily, ever since I first laid eyes on you, I have dared to love you wildly, passionately, devotedly, hopelessly.
I don't think you should tell me that you love me wildly, passionately, devotedly, hopelessly. Hopelessly doesn't seem to make much sense now, does it?
Cecily!
The dog cart is waiting, sir.
Tell it to come round next week at the same hour.
Yes, sir.
Uncle Jack would be very much annoyed if he knew you were staying on till next week at the same hour.
Oh, I don't care about Jack. I don't care about anyone in the world except for you, Cecily. I love you. You will marry me, won't you?
You silly boy. Of course! Why, we have been engaged for the last 3 months.
For the last 3 months?
Yes, it will be exactly 3 months on Thursday.
But my own sweet love, how did we become engaged?
Well, ever since dear Uncle Jack first confessed to us that he had a brother who was very wicked and bad, you, of course, have formed the chief topic of conversation between myself and Miss Prism. And of course, a man who is much talked about is always very attractive. One feels there must be something in him after all. I dare say it was foolish of me, but I fell in love with you, Ernest.
Darling, and when was our engagement actually settled?
On the 14th of February last. Worn out by your entire ignorance of my existence, I determined to end the matter one way or another, and after a long struggle with myself, accepted you under this dear old tree here. The next day I bought this little ring in your name, and this is the little bangle with the true lover's knot that I promised you always to wear.
Did I get you this? It's very pretty, isn't it?
Yes, you've wonderfully good taste, Ernest. It's the excuse I've always given for you leading such a bad life. And this is the box in which I keep all your dear letters.
My letters? But, my dear Cecily, I have not written you any letters.
I know that all too well, Ernest. I remember only too well that I was forced to write your letters for you.
Oh, do let me read them.
I couldn't possibly. They would make you far too conceited. The 3 you wrote me after I had broke off the engagement are so beautifully written and so badly spelled that even now I can hardly read them without crying a little.
But was our engagement ever broken off?
Of course it was, on the 23rd of last March. You can read the entry if you like. Today I broke off my engagement with Ernest. I feel it is better to do so. The weather still continues charming.
But why would you break our engagement off? I had done nothing!
It would have hardly been a serious engagement if it had not been broken off at least once. But I forgave you before the week was out.
You perfect angel.
You dear romantic boy. I hope your hair curls naturally, does it?
Yes, with a little help from others.
I am so glad.
You'll never break off our engagement again, will you, Cecily?
I don't think I could break it off now that I've actually met you. Besides, of course, there is the question of your name.
Yes, of course.
You mustn't laugh at me, darling, but it has always been a girlish dream of mine to love someone by the name of Earnest. The name itself seems to inspire absolute confidence. I pity any poor woman whose husband is not called Ernest.
Yes, but my own dear love, do you mean to tell me that you couldn't love me if my name wasn't Ernest?
But what name?
Oh, any name you like. Algernon, for example.
But I don't like the name Algernon.
Well, I do not see why you should object to the name of Algernon. It is a perfectly aristocratic name. But seriously, Cecily, if I were called Algie, could you not love me?
I might respect you, Ernest. I might admire your character, but I fear I should never be able to give you my undivided attention.
Your rector here, I am sure, is well versed in all of the practices of the church.
Oh yes, Dr. Chasuble is a most learned man.
Oh, I must see him immediately on a matter of the most important christening. I mean, most important business. I shan't be gone longer than half an hour.
Couldn't you make it 20 minutes?
I'll be back before you realize.
What an impetuous boy he is. I like his hair so much. I must enter his proposal into my diary.
A Miss Fairfax has just called to see Mr. Worthing. On very important business, she states.
Is it Mr. Worthing in his library?
Mr. Worthing went over in the direction of the rectory half an hour ago.
Tell Miss Fairfax to come out here, and you can bring tea.
Yes, miss.
A Miss Fairfax? Surely one of the good elderly ladies who are associated with Uncle Jack in some of his philanthropic work in London. I don't like ladies who are interested in philanthropic work. I think it is so forward of them.
Miss Fairfax.
Pray, let me introduce myself to you. My name is Cecily Cardew. Cecily Cardew, what a very sweet name. Something tells me we are going to be great friends. I like you already more than I can say, and my first impressions of people are never wrong.
How nice of you to like me after we have known each other such a comparatively short time. Pray, sit down.
I may call you Cecily, may I not?
If you wish.
And you will always call me Gwendolen, won't you?
If you wish.
Then that is all quite settled, is it not?
I hope so.
Passes be a favourable time for my mentioning who I am. My father is Lord Bracknell. You have never heard of Papa, I suppose?
I don't think so.
Outside the family circle, Papa, I am glad to say, is entirely unknown. That is, I think, as it should be. The home seems to me to be the proper sphere for a man. And certainly once a man begins to neglect his domestic duties, he becomes painfully effeminate. And I don't like that. It makes men so very attractive. Cecily, do you mind my looking at you through my glasses?
Oh, no, not at all, dear Gwendolen. I am very fond of being looked at.
You are here on a short visit, I suppose?
No, I live here.
Really? And your mother or some other female relative of considerably advanced years resides here also?
Oh, no, I have no mother, nor in fact any relations.
Indeed.
My dear guardian, with the assistance of Miss Prism, has the arduous task of looking after me.
Your guardian?
Yes, I am Mr. Worthing's ward.
Oh, Mr. Worthing never mentioned to me that he had a ward. How secretive of him. He grows more interesting hourly, but I cannot say that the news inspires me with feelings of unmixed delight. I am very fond of you, Cecily. I have liked you ever since I met you. But now that I know that you are Mr. Worthing's ward, I cannot help but express a wish that you were somewhat older than you seem to be, and not quite so very alluring in appearance. In fact, if I may speak candidly, Cecily...
Pray do! I think that whenever anyone has anything unpleasant to say, one should always be quite candid.
Well, to speak with perfect candor, Cecily, I wish you were fully 42 and more than usually plain for your age. Ernest has a strong and upright nature, but even men of the noblest possible moral character are strongly susceptible to the looks of others.
Pardon me, Gwendolen, did you say Ernest?
Yes.
Oh, but it is not Mr. Earnest Worthing who is my guardian. It is his brother, his elder brother.
Oh. Mr. Worthing never mentioned to me that he had a brother.
I am sorry to say they have not been on good terms for a long time.
Ah, that accounts for it. And now that I mention it, I have never heard any man talk of his brother. The subject seems most distasteful to men. Cecily, you have lifted a load from my mind. I was beginning to grow almost anxious. It would have been terrible if a cloud had come across a friendship such as ours. But you are quite sure that it is not Mr. Ernest Worthing who is your guardian?
Quite sure. In fact, I am going to be his.
I beg your pardon.
Dearest Gwendolen, there is no reason why I should make a secret of it to you. A little county newspaper is sure to detail the fact next week. Mr. Earnest Worthing and I are engaged to be married.
I'm sorry if it comes as any disappointment to you, Cecily, but Mr. Ernest Worthing is engaged to me. The Morning Post shall make the announcement on Saturday morning at the latest.
I'm afraid you must be under some misunderstanding, Miss Fairfax. Ernest proposed to me exactly 10 minutes ago.
It is certainly strange, for he asked me to be his wife yesterday afternoon at 5:30. If you care to verify the incidents, pray do so. I'm afraid as if it comes to any possible disappointment to you, Cecily, but I am afraid I have the prior claim.
It would distress me more than I can say, dear Gwendolen, if it caused you any physical or mental distress, but I feel bound to point out that since Earnest proposed to you, he clearly has changed his mind.
If the poor fellow has entered into any foolish scheme, I should feel it is my duty to rescue him, and with a firm hand.
Whatever unfortunate entanglement my dear boy may have got himself into, I will never reproach him with it after we are married.
Do you allude to me, Miss Cardew, as an entanglement? You are presumptuous. On an occasion such as this, it becomes more than a moral duty to speak one's mind. It becomes a pleasure.
Do you suggest, Miss Fairfax, that I entrap Earnest into an engagement? This is no time for wearing the shallow mask of manners. When I see a spade, I call it a spade.
Well, I'm fortunate enough to say that I've never seen a spade. It is clear to me that we were in vastly different social circles.
Shall I lay tea as usual, miss?
Yes, as usual.
Are there many interesting walks in the vicinity, Miss Cardew?
Oh, yes, a great many. From one of the hills quite close, one can see up to 5 counties.
5 counties? I don't think I should like that. I hate crowds.
I suppose that is why you live in town.
Quite a well-kept garden this is, Miss Cardew.
So glad you like it, Miss Fairfax.
I had no idea there were any flowers at all in the country.
Oh, flowers are as common here, Miss Fairfax, as people are in London.
I don't know how anybody who manages to exist in the country, if anybody who is anybody, does. The country always bores me to death.
Ah, I suppose that is what the newspapers call agricultural depression, is it not? Tea?
Yes, thank you. Detestable girl, but I require tea.
Sugar?
No, thank you. Sugar is not fashionable anymore.
Cake or bread and butter?
Bread and butter, please. Cake is rarely seen at the best houses nowadays.
Hand that to Miss Fairfax.
Yes, miss.
Oh. You have filled my tea with lumps of sugar, and though I asked most distinctly for bread and butter, you have given me cake. I am known for the extraordinary sweetness of my nature and gentleness of my disposition, but I warn you, Miss Cardew, you may go too far.
To save my poor, sweet, loving boy from the machinations of any other girl, there are no lengths to which I would not go.
I felt that you were false and deceitful. I felt so ever since I met you. I am never deceived in such manners. My first impressions of people are invariably right.
It seems to me, Miss Fairfax, that I am trespassing on your valuable time. No doubt you have many other calls of a similar nature to make in the neighborhood.
Ernest, my own Ernest.
Gwendolen! Darling!
One moment. May I ask you if you are engaged to be married to this young woman?
What? To dear little Cecily? Of course not! What could have put that idea into your pretty little head?
Thank you. You may.
I knew there must be some misunderstanding, Miss Fairfax. The gentleman whose arm is around your waist at present is my guardian, Mr. John Worthing.
John!
Here is Ernest.
My own love!
A moment, Ernest. May I ask, are you engaged to be married to this young lady?
To what young lady? To... Good heavens, Gwendolen!
Yes, to good heavens, Gwendolen. I mean Gwendolen.
No! What could have put such a silly idea in your pretty little head?
Thank you. You may.
I felt there must have been some slight error, Miss Cardew. The man who is at present embracing you is my cousin, Mr. Algernon Moncrieff.
Algernon Moncrieff! Oh! Are you called Algernon?
I cannot deny it.
And is your name really John?
I could deny it if I liked. I could deny anything if I liked. But my name certainly is John. It's been John for years.
Gross deception has been practiced on the both of us.
My poor wounded Cecily.
My dear wronged Gwendolen.
You will call me sister, will you not?
There is just one question I would like to be allowed to ask my guardian.
An admirable idea. Mr. Worthing, there is just one question I would like to be allowed to put to you. Where is your brother Earnest? We are both engaged to be married to your brother Earnest, so it is a matter of some importance to us to know where your brother Earnest is at present.
Gwendolen. Cecily. It pains me to speak the truth. In fact, it is the first time in my life that I've ever been reduced to such a painful position. and indeed I'm quite inexperienced in doing anything of the kind. However, to be perfectly frank, I have no brother, Earnest. I have no brother at all. I never had a brother, and I certainly have not the slightest intention of ever having one in the future.
No brother at all.
None!
Had you never a brother of any kind?
Never. Not even of any kind.
Cecily, it is clear to me that neither of us is engaged to be married to anyone.
It is not a very pleasant position for a young lady to find herself in, is it?
Let us go into the house. They would hardly venture to follow us in there.
No, men are such cowards, aren't they?
This ghastly state of things is what you call bun burying, I suppose?
Oh, yes, and a most wonderful Bunbury it is. The most wonderful I've ever had in my life.
Well, you have no right whatsoever to Bunbury here.
Well, as I said, one has the right to Bunbury anywhere one pleases. Any serious Bunburyist knows that.
Serious Bunburyist? Good heavens!
Well, one must be serious about something if one wants to have any sense of amusement in life. I happen to be serious about Bunbury. What are you serious about? I haven't the faintest idea. About everything, I should suppose. You have such an absolutely trivial nature.
Algie, the only small satisfaction I find in this whole business is that your friend Bunbury is quite exploded. You won't be able to run down to the country quite so often as you're used to, and a very good thing, too.
Well, your brother is looking a little off colour, isn't he? You won't be able to escape to town as often as your wicked custom was, and not a bad thing either.
As for your conduct toward Miss Cardew, I find your taking in a sweet, simple, innocent girl like that quite inexcusable. To say nothing of the fact that she is my ward.
Well, I see no possible defence for your deceiving a brilliant, clever, thoroughly experienced young woman as Gwendolen, to say nothing of the fact that she is my cousin.
I wanted to be engaged to Gwendolen, that is all.
Well,
I love her.
I wanted to be engaged to Cecily. I adore her.
There's certainly no chance of your marrying Miss Cardew.
Well, I do not think it is likely, Jack, of you and Miss Fairfax being united.
Well, that is no business of yours, is it?
If it were my business, I wouldn't talk about it.
Oh.
The only people who talk about their own business are stockbrokers and the kind, and then only at dinner parties.
How you can sit there calmly eating muffins when we were in this horrible trouble, I can't make out. You seem to me to be perfectly heartless.
Well, one cannot eat muffins in an agitated manner. One must always eat muffins very calmly, or the butter will get on my cups. It is the only way to eat them.
Well, I say it's perfectly heartless you're eating muffins at all, under the circumstances.
Well, as anyone who knows me intimately will tell you, when I am in real deep trouble, the only thing that comforts me is eating. Indeed, I am eating muffins because I am sad.
That is no reason for you to eat them all in that greedy way.
I wish you would not eat the muffins! I wish you'd have the tea cake. I don't like tea
I
cake.
suppose a man might eat his own muffins in his own garden.
But you just said it is perfectly heartless to eat muffins.
No, I said it was perfectly heartless of you, under the circumstances. That is a very different thing.
But the muffins are the same!
Algie, I wish to goodness you would go.
Oh, I certainly won't go until after I've had my dinner. You can't ask me to leave until I've had my dinner. I never go anywhere without having my dinner. Nobody ever does, except for vegetarians and people of that kind. Oh, and also, I've made arrangements with Dr. Chasuble to be christened this afternoon.
My dear fellow, the sooner you give up that nonsense, the better. I made arrangements this morning with Dr. Chasuble to be christened at 5:30, and naturally I will take the name of Earnest. Gwendolen would wish it. We can't both be christened Earnest, it's absurd. Besides, I have a perfect right to be christened if I like. There is no evidence at all that I've ever been christened by anybody, and I should think it extremely probable I never was, and so does Dr. Chasuble. The matter is entirely different in your case. You have been christened already.
Yes, but I have not been christened in
Yes, but you have been christened. That is the important thing.
Quite right. So I know my constitution can handle it. I find it very bold you're being christened this afternoon. You seem to be forgetting that someone very near to you was almost nearly carried off this week by a severe chill.
Yes, but you said yourself that a severe chill is not hereditary.
It usedn't to be, my dear fellow, but I dare say it is now. Science is always making wonderful improvements.
Oh, that is nonsense. You were always talking nonsense.
Jack! Please, do not touch the muffins!
But I hate tea cake.
Then why do you allow it to be served to your guests? What ideas do you have of hospitality?
LJ, I have asked you to leave. I don't want you here. Why don't you go?
There is still one muffin left. What? No! Don't you dare! No!
Elsie! Elsie! Oh, I'm all right. Really, I'm all right, Elsie.
The fact that they did not follow us into the house at once as any other sensible person would have done shows me that they have some sense of shame left.
They have been eating muffins. That looks like repentance.
They didn't seem to notice us at all. Couldn't you cough?
But I haven't got a cough.
They're looking at us. What effrontery.
They're approaching. How very forward of them.
Let us maintain a dignified silence.
Certainly. It's the only thing to do now.
This dignified silence seems to produce a most unpleasant effect.
A most distasteful one.
But we will not be the first to speak.
Certainly not.
Mr. Worthing, I have something very particular to say to you. Much depends on your reply.
Gwendolen, your common sense is invaluable. Mr. Moncrieff, kindly answer me the following question. Why did you pretend to be my guardian's brother?
In order that I might have the opportunity to meet you.
That seems to me to be a very satisfactory explanation, is it not?
Yes, dear, if you can believe him.
I do not, but that does not seem to affect the wonderful beauty of his answer.
True. In matters of grave importance, it is style, not sincerity, that is the vital thing. Mr. Worthing, what explanation can you offer to me for pretending to have a brother? Was it so you could come up to town to see me as often as possible?
Can you doubt us, Miss Fairfax?
Should we forgive them?
Yes, I mean no.
True, I had forgotten. There are moral principles at stake that one cannot surrender. Which of us should tell them?
Couldn't we not both say it at the same time?
An excellent idea. I almost always speak at the same time as other people. Will you take the time from me?
Certainly.
Your Christian names are still an insuperable barrier. That is all.
Our Christian names, is that all?
But we are going to be christened this afternoon.
For my sake, you are prepared to do this terrible thing?
I am.
To please me, you are prepared to face this terrible ordeal.
I am!
How absurd to talk of equality of the sexes. Where acts of self-sacrifice or consent, men are infinitely beyond us.
We are.
They have elements of physical courage that we women could never understand.
Darling!
Darling!
Ahem. Lady Brack.
Good heavens!
Does this mean?
Merely that I am engaged to be married to
You are nothing of the sort. Come here, sit down. A prize, sir, for my daughter's sudden flight from her trusty maid, whose confidence I have purchased by means of small coin. I followed her immediately by luggage train. Now, you may know and you may understand, Mr. Worthing, that all communication between yourself and my daughter must cease immediately. On this point, and on all points, I am firm.
I am engaged to Gwendolen, Lady Bracknell.
You are nothing of the sort, Mr. Worthing. As in regards to you, Algernon,
Yes, Aunt Augusta?
is this where your invalid friend, Mr. Bunbury, resides?
No, Bunbury is somewhere else at present. Actually, Bunbury died this afternoon.
Bunbury died? His death must have been very sudden. When did he die?
Yes, I killed Bunbury this afternoon. I mean, Bunbury died this afternoon.
What did he die of, Algernon?
He was quite exploded.
Exploded? Was he a victim of revolutionary outrage? I was not aware that this Mr. Bunbury was one to participate in social legislation, and so he is well punished for his morbidity.
I simply mean Bunbury was found out. The doctors found out that Bunbury couldn't live, and so Bunbury died.
Well, he seems to have great confidence in the opinions of his physicians. Now that we've got this Mr. Bunbury out of the way, Mr. Worthing, whose hand of this young person is my nephew Algernon holding in a peculiarly unnecessary manner?
Ah, that lady would be Miss Cecily Cardew, my ward.
I am engaged to be married to Cecily, Aunt Augusta.
I beg your pardon, Algernon.
Mr. Moncrieff and I are engaged to be married, Lady Bracknell.
I do not know if there is anything particularly exciting in the air in this particular part of Hertfordshire, but the number of engagements that go on seem to me above the considerable average that statistics have laid down for our guidance. I think some preliminary inquiry on my part would not be out of the question. Mr. Worthing, is Miss Cardew at all connected to any of the larger railway stations of London? I did not know until yesterday people and families had their origin in a terminus.
Miss Cardew is the granddaughter of the late Mr. Thomas Cardew of 149 Belgrave Square, SW, Gervais Park, Dorking, Surrey, and the Sporraine, Fifeshire, NB.
That sounds not unsatisfactory. 3, addresses always inspire confidence, even in tradesmen. But what proof of their authenticity have I?
I have carefully preserved the court guides of the period. They are open to your inspection, Lady Bracknell.
I have known strange errors in that publication.
Miss Cardew's family solicitors are Messrs. Markby, and Markby.
Markby, and Markby? A firm of the highest position in their profession. So far, I'm satisfied.
That is very kind of you, Lady Bracknell. I also have in my possession, you will be pleased to hear, certificates of Miss Cardew's birth, baptism, whooping cough, registration, vaccination, confirmation, and the measles, both the English and the German variety.
Ah, a life crowded with incident, I see. Perhaps too much for a young girl like yourself, Miss Cardew. I'm not in favor of premature experiences. Now the moment arrives for our departure, Gwendolen. We have not a moment to lose. As a matter of form, Mr. Worthing, I must ask what little fortune Miss Cardew has to her name.
Oh, only about £130,000 in the funds. That is all. Good day, Lady Bracknell. So pleased to have seen you.
Just a moment. Miss Cardew seems to me a most attractive young lady now that I look at her. Come here, sweet child, come here. Oh, your dress is sadly simple. And your dress and your hairs almost seem as nature would have left it. Please, turn around. No, the side profile is what I want. She has distinct social possibilities in her profile. Algernon!
Yes, Aunt Augusta.
She has distinct social possibilities in her profile.
Cecily is the dearest, sweetest, prettiest girl I have ever laid eyes on. I don't give 2 pence about social possibilities.
Do not speak ill of society, Algernon. Only people who are in it say that. I suppose I must give you my consent.
Thank you, Aunt Augusta.
The marriage have better take place sooner. I'm not in favor of long engagements that allows the other person to know the character of the other, which is never advisable.
Thank you, Aunt Augusta! Excuse me for interrupting, Lady Bracknell. However, this engagement is completely out of the question. I am Miss Cecily Cardew's guardian, and she cannot legally marry without my consent until she comes of age. That consent I absolutely decline to give.
Upon what grounds, may I ask, Mr. Worthing? Algernon is a completely, and may I almost say, an ostentatiously eligible young man. He has nothing, but he looks everything. What more can one desire, Mr. Worthing?
It pains me to speak so frankly with you, Lady Bracknell, about your nephew, but the fact is I do not at all approve of his moral character. I suspect him of being untruthful.
Untruthful? My nephew Algernon, impossible. He is Oxonian.
I'm afraid there can be no possible doubt about the matter. This afternoon, while I was temporarily absent in London on an important question of romance, he obtained admission to my home under the means of the false pretense of being my brother. Under an assumed name, he drank, I've just been informed by my butler, an entire pint bottle of Perrier Jouet Brut 89. Wine I was specifically reserving for myself. Continuing his disgraceful deception, he succeeded in the course of the afternoon in alienating the affections of my only ward. He subsequently stayed to tea, where he devoured every single muffin. What makes his conduct all the more heartless is that from the very first he knew that I don't have a brother. I never had a brother, and I don't intend to have a brother, not even of any kind. I distinctly told him so myself yesterday afternoon.
Mr. Worthing, after careful consideration, I have decided to completely overlook my nephew's conduct to you.
That's very generous of you, Lady Bracknell. My own decision, however, remains unalterable. I decline to give my consent.
Come here, sweet child. How old are you, dear?
Well, I am really only 18, but I always confess to 20 when I go to evening parties.
18, but confessing to 20 at evening parties. You're almost of age, of consent, and almost free from the restraints of tutelage.
Pray excuse me for interrupting you, Lady Bracknell. But as per the terms of Miss Cardew's grandfather's will, she does not legally come of age until she is wholly 35.
That does not seem like a grave objection. I do not see why Miss Cardew could seem any more attractive than she is now. There would be a large accumulation of property.
Algie, could you wait for me till I was 35?
Of course I could, my darling. You know I could.
Yes, darling, I felt it instinctively. But even I couldn't wait all this time. Waiting, even to be married, is out of the question.
Then what is to be done?
Mr. Worthing, Miss Cardew states positively that she cannot wait until the age of consent that is stated in her grandfather's will. I beg you to reconsider your decision.
But my dear Lady Bracknell, the matter is entirely in your hands. The moment you consent to my marriage with Gwendolen, I will allow your nephew to form an alliance with my ward.
You know what you propose is completely out of the question, Mr. Worthing.
Then a passionate celibacy is all any of us can look forward to.
That is not the destiny I propose for Gwendolen. But I suppose Algernon can choose for himself. We have missed 5, if not 6 trains already. Come along, dear.
Everything is quite ready for the christenings.
The christening, sir, is that not somewhat premature?
Well, both these men have expressed a desire for immediate baptism.
Baptism at their age? That idea is grotesque and irreligious. I forbid you from being baptized, Algernon.
Am I to understand there to be no baptisms at all this afternoon?
I don't think that, given the way things are, it would be of much practical value to either of us, Dr. Chasuble.
I am grieved to hear you express such sentiments, Mr. Worthing. However, since your present mood seems to be one peculiarly secular, I will return to the church at once. Indeed, I have just been informed by the pew opener that for the last hour and a half, Miss Prism has been waiting for me in the
Miss Prism, did I hear Miss Prism, Dr. Chasuble?
Yes, Lady Bracknell, I'm on my way to join her
Pray
now.
allow me to detain you for a moment. This matter may prove of vital importance to Lord Bracknell and myself. Is this Miss Prism a woman of repellent aspect, remotely connected to education?
Oh, she is the most cultivated of ladies, and the very picture of respectability.
We are obviously speaking of the same person, Dr. Chasuble. What position does she hold in your household?
I am a celibate, madam.
Miss Prism has for the last 3 years been Miss Cardew's esteemed governess and valued companion.
In spite of what I've heard of her, I know nothing of her. Let her be sent for at once.
She approaches.
She is nigh.
I was told you expected me in the vestry, dear Canon. I've been waiting for you there
Miss
for
Prism!
an hour and a half.
Miss Prism, where is that baby? 28 years ago, Miss Prism, you left Lord Bracknell's house, number 104 up near Governess Street, in charge of a perambulator carrying a baby of the male sex. You never returned. After elaborate investigations of Metropolitan Police, we found the perambulator, but only contained a 3-volume manuscript with very vulgar and more than disgusting sentimentality. But the baby was not there. Where is that baby, Miss Prism?
Lady Bracknell, I do not know. I only wish I did. The plain facts of the case are these. On the morning of the day you mentioned, a day that is forever branded in my memory, I prepared, as usual, to take the baby out in its perambulator. I also had with me a somewhat old but capacious handbag in which I had intended to place the manuscript of a work of fiction that I had written in my few unoccupied hours. In a moment of mental abstraction for which I can never forgive myself, I deposited the manuscript in the bassinet and the baby in the handbag.
But where did you deposit the handbag that contained the infant?
Do not ask me, Mr. Worthing.
This is a matter of no small importance to me, Miss Prism. I insist on knowing where you deposited the handbag that contained that baby.
I left it in one of the larger railway station cloakrooms in London.
Which railway station?
Victoria, the Brighton line. Oh!
Pray, excuse me for a moment. I must retire to my room. Gwendolen, wait here for me.
If you're not too long, I will wait here for you my entire life.
What does this all mean, Lady Bracknell?
I do not even suspect.
Uncle Jack seems strangely agitated.
Your guardian has a very emotional nature.
The noise is extremely unpleasant.
Just stopped now.
I hope you would arrive at some conclusion.
The suspense is terrible. I hope it will last.
Ah! Woo! Miss Prism, is this the handbag? Examine it carefully before you speak. The happiness of more than one life depends on your answer.
It seems to be mine. Oh, yes! Here is the injury it received through the upsetting of a Gower Street omnibus in younger and happier days. Here is the stain on the lining caused by the explosion of a temperance beverage, an incident that occurred at Leamington. Oh, and here, on the lock, are my initials. I forgot that in an extravagant mood I had them placed there. Oh, the bag is undoubtedly mine. Oh, I'm so delighted to have it so unexpectedly restored to me. It has been a great inconvenience being without it all these years.
More is restored to you than the handbag. I was the baby you placed in it.
You?
Yes! Mother?
Mr. Worthing, I am unmarried.
Unmarried? Oh, I do not deny that it's a serious blow. But after all, who has the right to cast a stone against one who has suffered? Cannot repentance wipe out an act of folly? Why should there be one law for men and another for women? Mother, I forgive you.
Mr. Worthing, there has been some error. There is the lady who can tell you who you really are.
Lady Bracknell, I hate to seem inquisitive, but could you kindly inform me as to who I am?
The information that you desire will not altogether please you, Mr. Worthing. You are the son of my poor sister, Algernon's elder brother.
Algy's elder brother? Oh, I always knew I had a brother. Cecily, how could you have ever doubted that I had a brother? Miss Prism, my unfortunate brother. Dr. Chasuble, my unfortunate brother. Gwendolen? My unfortunate brother. Algy, you young scoundrel. You've never behaved to me like a brother in all your life. You'll have to treat me with more respect in the future.
Well, not until today, old boy. I've been out of practice.
My own one. But what own are you? What is your Christian name now that you've become someone else?
Oh, good heavens. I had quite forgotten that point. I suppose your decision on the subject of my name is irrevocable?
I never change, except in my affections.
What a noble nature you have, Gwendolen.
Then the question had better be cleared up at once. Aunt Augusta?
Ugh.
A moment. At the time when Miss Prism had placed me in the handbag, had I been christened already?
Every luxury that could be lavished upon you was given to you by your caring and doting parents.
So I had been christened. That is settled. But what name was I given? Let me know the worst.
Being the eldest, you were naturally named after your father.
Yes, but what was my father's Christian name?
I cannot recall.
Algy, can't you recollect what our father's Christian name was?
We were never even on speaking terms, my dear boy. He died before I was a year old.
I suppose his name would appear in the army list of the period, Aunt Augusta?
He was a man of peace everywhere outside of his domestic home.
The army lists of the last 40 years are here. These records should have been my constant study. Generals? Alright. Malum, Maxbow, Magley. What ghastly names they have. Migsby, Mobbs, Moncrieff. Lieutenant, 1840. Captain, Lieutenant Colonel, Colonel, General, 1869. Christian names. Earnest, John. I have always told you, Gwendolen, that my name was Earnest. Well, it is Earnest after all. I mean, it naturally is Earnest.
I knew I had some reason for disliking the name.
Oh, my own Ernest. I knew from the first you could have no other name.
My own darling, it is a terrible thing for a man to find out that all his life he has been telling nothing but the truth. Can you ever forgive me?
I can, for I feel sure that you will change.
My darling. Oh, Letitia!
Frederick, at last.
Cecily!
Gwendolen, at last!
My nephew, you seem to be displaying signs of triviality.
Oh, on the contrary, Aunt Augusta. I have just discovered for the first time in my life the vital importance of being earnest.